Have you ever wondered where philosophy began? Who was the first person to look at the world and try to explain it using reason instead of myths about gods and monsters? Well, today we're talking about that very person. Thales of He's often called the father of Western philosophy, and for a very good reason. He completely changed the way people thought about the universe. So, picture this. Ancient Greece. Around 600 BCE, people believed that earthquakes were caused by Poseidon, the sea god, being angry. Storms were Zeus throwing lightning bolts. But Thales came along and said, "Hold on a minute. What if there's a natural explanation for all this?" This was a massive shift in thinking. He was the first to propose that we could understand the world through observation and logic. One of his most famous, and maybe strangest sounding, ideas was that everything is made of water. Now, before you laugh, think about what he was really doing. He was trying to find a single, fundamental subsist what the Greeks called in our Czech, that everything in the universe comes from. He saw that water is essential for all life. Plants need it. Animals need it. We need it. It can be a solid like ice, a liquid, or a gas like steam. So, from his perspective, it was a pretty logical first guess. It wasn't about being literally correct. It was about starting the scientific search for a basic principle of nature. Instead of blaming angry gods for earthquakes, Thales suggested that the earth floats on a vast ocean of water, and when the water gets rough, the earth shakes. Again, not accurate by today's standards, but it was a natural explanation, not a supernatural one. He applied the same thinking to the stars, the weather, and life itself. He moved the conversation from which God did this to how does this work? This single step laid the groundwork for all of science and philosophy that followed. But Thales wasn't just a thinker. He was also a brilliant mathematician and astronomer. He's credited with several geometric discoveries, including the famous Thales theorem, which you might have learned in school. There is a legendary story about him using his knowledge of geometry to measure the height of the Great Pyramids in Egypt. He simply waited for the moment when his own shadow was the same length as his height, and then measured the pyramid's shadow. Simple, yet genius. Even more impressive. He is said to have correctly predicted a solar eclipse in 585 BCE. Imagine the power of that knowledge back then, while everyone else was panicking, thinking the world was ending. Thales understood the celestial mechanics behind it. This practical application of reason showed just how powerful this new way of thinking could be. Because of his incredible intellect and practical wisdom, Thales was recognized as one of the 7 sages of ancient Greece. He was known for short, powerful sayings, one of the most famous being "Know thyself." This idea that self-awareness and understanding are the foundation of wisdom is a cornerstone of philosophy that is still just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. So why is Thales so important? He was the first to ask the big questions. What is the world made of? How can we understand our place in it? By seeking answers in nature and reason, he sparked a revolution in human thought. He inspired the next generation of philosophers like his students, Anaximander and and his influence echoed down through the centuries to Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, shaping the entire course of Western civilization. The next time you look up at the stars or wonder why something in nature happens the way it does, remember Thales of He was the one who first dared to believe that we, as humans, have the power to figure it all out. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back to the dawn of philosophy, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.